right, you ready?
Oh, yes.
So firstly, what is your name and what do you do?
Hi, guys. I'm Jerel Medell. I work with a church. I work with children, and I've done other stuff. I've worked at Starbucks. I worked at a parkour gym and gymnastics gym for a little bit.
The climbing one you keep telling me to go to?
Oh, well, no, that's a
I wanna go
different
there
one. This
so
is
bad.
Oh, what's that?
I want to go there so bad.
It's so good. I'm actually going later tonight. But yes, anyways.
So sorry.
Sorry. But yes, no. So yeah, that's what I do. I mostly just work with children. So
Nice.
yeah.
So, you're a magic collector.
I am
which
a magic collector.
I'm super stoked about.
Yeah.
How did you kind of start getting into magic,
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of keeps you going with it?
Those are great questions there. Wow, well done.
I know. I only brought my best ones.
Awesome. They are the best. So I started getting into magic because my friend, it was during the pandemic, and they were like, Jerel, we should start playing this game. They were already into it. They had played in high school, and they brought it up to me, and they were just like, Jerel, there's this game called Magic the Gathering, and I've heard about it. I've heard of like Black Lotus and all those different cards. Like, I'm like in the nerd sphere. I just never got fully into it. I tried other TCGs like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! I just never clicked.
Yeah.
But when I started playing Magic, everything just came together for me.
Yeah.
Like I started with Commander, and I love playing Commander, and I still think it's my favorite format by far. But like being able to play with 3 other people and my friends and just just doing crazy stuff together and playing these games that are like kind of silly but also kind of serious, and remembering all these rules, like it opened just a whole new world for me, and I love playing it ever since. The reason it keeps me going is I really do love the art on these cards. I think it's one of the biggest things. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like going back to like Dan Frazier and all the original stuff, but newer people, like the newest art, my favorite set so far was Dustmorn. I loved the horror stuff.
set.
I'm a big horror fan, so I loved having just a set just of like people's faces being mutilated, or like a Jolly Balloon Man blowing someone's head up into a balloon.
That freaks me out.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
The It card, But like it and like I think my particular favorite art from that set is like it's in the Fractured Realm or Mirror Room art, like the ultimate art, and it's like the person like it's like multiple versions of them like falling back and like dissolving, and I love that art a lot. So I think a big part is the art, and I love the history of the game.
Yes.
And I also love upgrading my personal pet deck. It's my Tom Bombadil deck.
Yes.
I love personalizing and making it and changing it, and it's gone through so many iterations. But I love just collecting the most expensive foil art for this deck.
Bougie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it started because Tom Bombadil he's not a very powerful commander, but I love playing it, and I love the idea that like the whole saga idea of he's telling stories, and then while he's telling his stories, he's gonna like destroy you.
Yeah.
Which is like it's sort of like boring you to death with his stories, which is super funny to me. But yes, it's the art, it's the people behind it. I love playing with them. I love playing with people, and I just love the game in general. So yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons why I follow through on this passion. The gathering is one of the best parts. Magic is there.
The community is amazing for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As in the Magic of the Gathering.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So the deck you brought with you.
Oh yes.
I'm super stoked. This is your personal deck that means the world to you, right?
Yes. My so like it's my Tom Bombadil deck, and I'm like, there is my friend who I played against a lot with this deck made me a proxy, and it's of me, but it's like the Tom Bombadil.
Gorgeous though.
Yeah, like they put it through AI.
He's got your...
Yeah, they put it through AI, so it looks like the art
so
and stuff like that.
good.
Exactly, and like I got all like I got like personalized Tom Bombadil, like Lord of the Rings dice and stuff like that.
That's awesome. I love that.
And yeah, this deck has been like 2.5 years in the making. Well, ever since like even before the actual set came out, I saw Tom Bombadil get leaked, and I was like, I need to make this deck right now. So
you're like, this is the one.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't know why, like it's still that like hooked feeling. I was like, I gotta build this deck right now, you know. And so yeah, so it's filled with some crazy stuff. Like it has one of my first big purchases I've ever done when that actually like got me into collecting was a foil replenish. Yeah, like an original one. And the funny story behind that card is that that's
expensive card.
Oh yeah,
I'm so sorry.
And so no, it's a great card, and so because like the whole saga thing is that sagas go into the graveyard, and so I replenished is just an essential card in that deck. So I was like, this has to be foil. And when I first found out they had a foil version, I was like, really? And then I checked how much it was, and I was like, and so foil replenish was my first big purchase because I went to MagicCon, and that was the only card on my brain. Like that was the card I was like, I need this card in my collection right now. This is the one. And so I did find it. I found it for cheaper, which was good. But yeah, foil replenish is in here. A foil Mox Diamond is in this. Oh
my God! You have a Mox Diamond foil in there?
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings the One Ring posters in here.
So I brought my graded one to show you.
Yeah,
because that was one of my favorite like alternate variations that they did for collector's packs was the poster variants.
Oh yeah,
the Lord of the Rings ones were my big chases because I was obsessed with like how like 70s flowy neon colors they were. That's such a gorgeous freaking card. I love it.
It's so nice. I really want like a room of just like the poster art, but like in poster form, like in like full size.
Oh, like if you were to put them in a frame.
Yeah, exactly. No, that'd be so nice.
Expensive, but it'd be pretty.
Yeah, right. It'd be so nice. But yeah, no, like the poster art, like you can't read them, but that's not the point, you know. Like they're
the art.
Dude, you look at them, and you're like, wow. And I think that's so cool too because the art itself has become the card. So I feel like people now. I know initially people were like, oh, I can't read this, but I think now that it's given some time, people can look at it and be like, oh, that's the One Ring card. Oh, that's a Tom Bombadil card. Oh, that's the Radagast card, you know. But yeah, like I have that in there. I have a Wheel of Fortune. I have 2 duels in here. Still building that, by the way. Hopefully, one of these days that I will have the full set of duels in this deck because it is a 5-color deck. So, you know, it does give way. Honestly, it's like a nice double-edged sword because you know, because like I can put whatever I want in this deck, but also that means I can put whatever I want in this deck, including dual lands. So
this is about as fancy as it gets.
Yeah, exactly. And like I have a Wheel of Fortune, and in this deck too. Revise on Unlimited. Ooh, man, that is.
I love the clarification.
Yeah,
it's fancy, but it's not like suit and tie fancy.
Well, because we were talking about a card that I would want in this deck.
Yeah.
Is the promo foil Wheel of Fortune?
Oh.
That would be crazy to have in this deck, and if anyone has any idea where to get that, that'd be great. But
you let me know.
Yeah, I'm willing to trade. But yeah, no, it was like what else is in here? There is the One Ring poster, matte foil Mox Diamond.
Would you be willing to, once we finish this up, would you be willing to kind of like lay it out and get a shot of it? Because I would love to showcase it, especially considering like this is your Jerel deck.
Yeah.
I would love to get like a full shot of the Jerel deck.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like I could definitely put everything out there for you. But no, this is my deck. It's basically the main reason I collect is because of this deck. And like I also collect stuff because of art or like Secret Lair stuff because I love looking at that stuff. Oh God,
Secret Lair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what gets my money.
Yeah.
I don't like my money. It's fine.
Oh, exactly. Oh my gosh.
I only work so I can spend it. It's fine. It's fine.
But isn't that work in general?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
So, what would, as like, kind of like an ending point, for someone nervous about getting into Magic, what advice would you give them as far as like how to start or just getting past the nerves of kind of learning it?
Oh yeah, that's a great question, and I think one big thing you should try to get into, or just don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's one of the biggest things that I figured out as I was getting into this, and is that the people are actually super nice. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people are super knowledgeable too, and like sometimes too, I remember my friends who played Magic were always like, Jerel, do you want to use a deck? Do you want to do this? Do you want to borrow this? Do you want to try this out? You know. And so, but granted, I did have people who already who already played Magic that
Yeah.
I knew. But if you're like going fresh into this, like don't be afraid to ask questions, and like also don't be. This might be a little controversial, but don't be afraid to proxy. You know.
Yeah.
Like it's just
It
like
definitely depends on your table for sure. 'Cause
Yeah,
there are plenty
exactly.
of people who are like, yeah, no, as long as you have a really cool combo I get to see
Yeah.
out of it, I could care less. Yeah.
Exactly. But I think the community has always been so accepting and so nice. You know, when they're not talking about Witches of the Coast or something like that.
When
You
they're
know,
not complaining
when they're
about
not
the
complaining.
news set
But that's
coming
what
out.
Magic people do. We
Yeah.
complain. You know, it's all part of the fun.
It's because we're broke.
Yeah.
There's no other reason. It's because we're broke.
Exactly.
1000%.
But yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like it's the gathering. The people are always so nice. They're always so like I know you guys have always been so helpful when I like need questions about a card or anything like that.
Do
Exactly.
my best. The boys do their best. We do our best.
You guys kill it every time. Because it true to my eye. But yeah, like don't be afraid to ask questions because people will answer. People will
Yeah.
accommodate. People will be inviting, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what's just so cool about Magic for me, and that's why you should get into it, you know?
Yeah, and for anyone that's kind of interested in getting into Magic, Fire and Ice has a really solid starter community. We have plenty of pods on Commander Sunday that are willing to take in new players. So if you have that nerve around it, you don't know where to start, or you know, throwing yourself into a game for the first time is intimidating, come through on Sunday. We have a beautiful community. Everyone is super friendly. They'll walk you through it. And it's just, there's really a group for everybody. You know, we've had some people start out in one pod and then they find their home pod and you see them play together every week. So don't worry about kind of trying to find where you fit. That just comes along with it. But thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
Dare.
for coming out. You're freaking best. And please
course,
let them get a
just
shot of
copy
your
you, you
deck
know.
because it's gorgeous.
Yeah. All right.